Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, grabbing the Master Magician achievement. This is to find every single one of Donald's staves. Now, a majority of the achievement can be taken care of in Traverse Town. Which one do you want to head over there? Make sure you stop by the item shop. It's going to be the shop next door to the accessory shop. So just take either entrance and you should head on inside and you will see that the shop is run by Donald's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Make sure you talk to whoever's running the counter and make sure you buy some stuff. Here's going to be a list of all 7 staves that are going to be available at this shop, as well as their corresponding prices and when they appear in the shop. So if you happen to be working on this achievement at the same time as you are going through the story, the 3 times you want to check back at the shop during the course of the story are going to be once you clear Traverse Town for the first time, once you have cleared Agrabah, and then once you have cleared the first visit to Hollow Bastion. Once you have one of each, we are going to tackle the 2 staves you can find out in the wild. The first one, you're going to need the White Trinity ability, so make sure you have that one. You should unlock it during your first trip to Hollow Bastion. Once you have it, make sure you head back to Olympus Coliseum. There should be a White Trinity mark right here in the middle of the gates area. Use the White Trinity in order to find the Violetta. Next one you can find in the wild is going to be located at the end of the world. During your trip, you're going to get to this area known as the Giant Crevasse. There is going to be these cage things that if you happen to get trapped in them, you should fight a bunch of Heartless. The one that's going to be the highest up, which is going to be this one all the way over here, is going to have a chest underneath it with the staff you are looking for. Now, you can either drop into the cage, and that should trigger the Heartless fight. If you manage to defeat all of them, you should be able to drop through the floor, and the chest with what you're looking for is going to be directly below. Or you can actually just fly directly underneath the cage and then pick up the chest without dealing with any of the Heartless. Whatever the case, once you get there, you should open it up and find the Meteor Strike inside. Next on the list is going to be Donald's Heartless weapon. The easiest place to find this is going to be Traverse Town, however, it can be found anywhere after the first Hollow Bastion visit. This weapon is going to be the Wizard's Relic. It's going to be dropped appropriately by the Wizard type of Heartless. It's going to have a 0.2% chance drop rate, which is going to mean it's going to have a drop rate of 1 in every 500 Wizards. You can increase your chances by equipping Lucky Strike. A 3 times Lucky Strike is going to reduce the odds down to 1 in every 200 Wizards, or a 0.5% chance. For your farming spot, I recommend doing this in the alleyway in Traverse Town, simply because there's going to be a ton of wizards here, not only on the main alleyway street level, but also up on the balconies. You can also head inside the hotel room, and then if you cut through either the green or the red room, and then get out into the hotel hallway, there's going to be a wave of defenders right here, which you also need to farm for Goofy's Heartless weapon, so keep that in mind. You can work on these 2 things at the same time. But once you take out the defenders, a wave of 4 wizards should appear in the hallway as well, and then obviously make sure you take them out, and then hopefully you should get the Wizard's Relic drop sooner rather than later. If it doesn't show up, obviously just leave the area, move 2 screens over, and then come back, and then all the Heartless should refresh. If you have Encounter Plus, you can just move to the next screen and then come back. So reuse that if you have it from the item synthesis part of the game. But whatever the case, once you finally get the lucky drop, you should be good for the weapon, and then you can feel free to move on, or you can continue farming until you get Goofy's weapon, which of course we will cover in the next guide. But nonetheless, once you finally get the Wizard's Relic, it's going to be a baby blue colored drop. Personally, for me, it took 427 wizards for it to show up in the normal stack, and in the Japanese stack, it took me 153 wizards. So best of luck with that random weapon. For the next staff, you are going to need to unlock every single summon in the game. You are going to be introduced to summons during your second trip to Traverse Town. You are going to head into the secret waterway to meet up with Leon and Aerith. Make sure you talk to him, and then after you're done, make sure you talk to him again. You are basically trying to ask about the navigation gummy. During the second conversation, he should give you a summon gem in the form of Earthshine. Then you are supposed to hold on to this for the rest of the chapter. Basically, he's going to tell you to go meet up with Sid over by the accessory shop to ask about the navigation gummy. Sid is going to help you out on the condition that you deliver an old book for him. So he's going to hand you the book, and basically he's going to tell you to take it over to the mystical house. If you haven't opened it up yet, he should also give you directions there. Just make sure you take the fire door in 3rd district, and that should take you over to the house. Once you get there, Merlin the Magician should set up shop, and then once you hand in the book, you are going to be introduced to the fairy godmother. Make sure you listen to her little tutorial on summon gems, and basically she should convert the one that Leon gave to you into your first summon, which is going to be Simba. The next summon is going to be given to you as a freebie as part of the story. Basically, after you complete Agrabah, Genie is going to join your summon squad. Next summon can be found in the 100 Acre Wood chapter. This one is going to be the first torn page you bring back, so make sure you bring it back to the book, and then make sure you play out this minigame. It's going to be Pooh's Honey Tree. Completing it and completing this part of the chapter should give you another summon gem in the form of the Nature Spark. With summon gems, you have to bring them back to the fairy godmother every single time, so keep that in mind. If you are given a freebie summon as part of the story, you don't have to bring those back, but if it is in the form of a gem, you have to bring it back to the mystical house. So make sure you bring this back and you should get Bambi. The next summon gem can be found when you get to Monstro. This one is not story related, so you kind of have to go out of your way to find this. After your first fight with Parasite Cage, once you beat it, you're going to be sent back to the mouth. The water level should lower, and then you should have the ability to get high jump at this point. Grab it from the chest and make sure you equip it. This is all part of the story since you need it to start climbing all the scaffolding. However, we are going to use our new ability to get us some treasures first. So from the front of the boat, what you want to do is you want to make sure you go forward, and you want to make sure you head towards this piece of wood right here. There was a blue trinity here, if you remember from our trinity guide. Make sure you climb the scaffolding up to this tower, which is going to be the closest to the front of the mouth. Inside this chest is going to be the water gleam, which is going to be a gem you can bring back to fairy godmother to get the Dumbo summon. Next summon is going to be another one that's going to be given to you as part of the story. Once you clear Neverland, you should get Tinkerbell to join up with the squad, so make sure you get that one out of the way. Then finally, the last one is going to be story related. However, it's going to be a summon gem that you do have to bring back. So once you defeat Maleficent Dragon, you should get the Fire Glow. Make sure you take this back to Fairy Godmother back in Traverse Town in the Mystical House, and then you should get the Mushu summon. Since this is also your last one, you should get your prize for rescuing every single summon, and that's going to be in the form of the Lord Fortune, which is going to be a staff. To unlock the next staff, you are going to have every single spell as well as their upgrades unlocked in the game. Most of them are going to be given to you through the story. So first one is pretty obvious. This is after completing your first visit to Traverse Town. Donald is going to teach you how to use fire. The second one is also going to be story related. This one is going to be Blizzard. You find this in Wonderland. Now, the most obvious way to unlock it is when you are heading into the Bazaar Room to get this piece of evidence next to the faucet. So Cheshire Cat should show up and he should teach it to you. Now, you can actually skip picking up this piece of evidence. If that is the case, Cheshire Cat will give you Blizzard after defeating the first mini-boss against the tower and the card soldiers. Third spell is also going to be Unmissable. You are supposed to stop by Olympus Coliseum in order to play through the prelims in order to get Thunder. You, of course, need all of these in order to get through Traverse Town's second arc, so make sure you keep all this in mind. And then you have the fourth spell, which is also Unmissable. You get this in Deep Jungle after beating Clayton, and it's going to be the most useful spell in the form of Cure. Then you have the fifth spell, which is also going to be story-based and unmissable. This is for after completing the second Traverse Town visit. You are going to get Arrow, which is going to be a useful spell, especially if you upgrade it. This one is going to be the only tier 1 spell you can actually skip over, and it's going to be Gravity. To get Gravity, you are going to have to clear the Fill Cup. Obviously, all of the tournaments in the Olympus Coliseum are going to be optional. Now, in the situation where you skip a part where you would learn a spell, whenever you learn its upgrade, you will get the tier below it instead, obviously. So let's say you skip doing the Fill Cup, so you wouldn't be able to learn Gravity right here, so instead, the place where you learn Gravity's upgrade, you will learn the base Gravity instead. And if you wanted to upgrade that, obviously you can come back and then complete the Fill Cup whenever you wanted to. So make sure you keep that in mind, especially if you are skipping the optional story bits. Next two you are going to get are going to be your first spell upgrades. Once you beat Jafar in Agrabah, you should get Blizzard upgraded to Blizzara, and then once you beat Genie Jafar, you are going to get Fire upgraded to Fyra. Once you get to the last boss of Monstro, which is going to be the second Parasite Cage fight, you are going to get your last base spell, which is going to be Stop for beating it. Then after beating the last boss in Atlantica, which is going to be Giant Ursula, you are going to get Thunder upgraded to Thundara. If you have been keeping up with torn pages at this point and then bringing them back and then also completing these bits in the 100 Acre Wood chapter, you should be on your third one at this point, which is going to be Pooh's Swing. For completing this one, you should get Stop upgraded to Stopra. Again, the 100 Acre Wood, like the Olympus Coliseum tournaments, are going to be optional. So if you do skip these, you can come back later and then get them at your leisure. Next one up is going to be another story-related one. After you beat Oogie's Manor in Halloween Town, you should get Gravity upgraded to Gravara, or if you happen to skip getting Gravity, you should get the base Gravity right here. Cure will be upgraded to Kiora in Neverland right before the Captain Hook fight, so that's going to be another story-related one that you can't miss. Once you clear Neverland, you should get the ability to compete in the Hercules Cup. If you choose to do so and have completed and sealed the keyhole in Olympus Coliseum, you should get the ability to clear Yellow Trinity marks. Once you get that ability, make sure you come back to Neverland, make sure you stop by the ship hold, and then make sure you clear the first area of all the enemies. Make sure you float up here. Use the Yellow Trinity ability on this door to get access to this hidden room. Inside is going to be a bunch of treasures, which are going to include a Dark Matter as well as a puppy set, but the thing that's going to be pertinent to us is going to be this one up here that you have to fly up to, and this one is going to contain an upgrade to Arrow, so we should get Aroa right here. First tier 3 upgrade is going to be given to you as part of the story. Once you seal the keyhole in Hollow Bastion, you're going to get this little cutscene where the princesses will upgrade Fyra to Firaga. Then after that, what you want to do is you want to make sure you gummy ship hop. So make sure you gummy ship hop over to the library in Hollow Bastion. And then once you are there, you will notice that the Final Fantasy crew is chilling out in the library. You want to make sure you look for Aerith, who is going to be at the foot of the staircase. So just jump down, or you take the stairs down if you really want to. Make sure you talk to her once. She should give you about a handful of Ansem reports. Talk to her a second time to get through some filler dialogue. Then talk to her a third time, and she should give you Kiraga. So that's going to be the highest level cure. Super duper useful, especially at this point in the game where all the Heartless are all strong and stuff. So make sure you take care of that. By the time you have completed your second visit to Hollow Bastion, if you have been keeping up with the Dalmatian puppies, you should have all 99 of them at this point. Check out our top dog guide for more info if you need help on finding the puppies. But once you have all 99 puppies rescued, make sure you head back to the Dalmatian house in Traverse Town. You are going to get a little cutscene where everyone's reunited, and Pongo and Perdita are going to give you the last arrow upgrade. Now, most of the other Tier 3 upgrades are going to be found during the Hades Cup. So make sure you start the Hades Cup if you are ready to do so, and make sure you run the gambit. Of course, since this is your first time around, you will get a checkpoint every 10 rounds, so make sure you take advantage of that, especially if you are lower level. For completing the first 10, which is going to end with a boss fight against Behemoth, if you manage to defeat it, you should be good for the last Blizzard upgrade, so you should get Blizzaga. Clearing the second set of 10 is going to result in a boss fight against Cerberus. Defeating him is going to give you the last Thunder upgrade, so you should get Thundaga for beating him. No spells for the third and middle set of 10, but beating the second to last set of 10, which is the fourth set, is going to result in the boss fight against Hades. Defeating him is going to get you the last Gravity upgrade, which is going to be Gravaga. And then finally, we have one last spell to go, which is going to be the last upgrade to Stop. This one is going to require that you have beat the Phantom. You can check out our boss fight guide against the Phantom for more info on that. But to sum things up quickly, after you complete your second visit to Hollow Bastion, make sure you come back to Neverland and go to the cabin. Make sure you swap out one of your party members to Peter Pan and then talk to Tinkerbell. You should be transported to the clock tower to have a hidden boss fight against the Phantom. If you manage to beat him, you should get the last Stop upgrade, which is going to be Stopga. Once you have every single spell and then everything upgraded to Tier 3 or the Ga range, make sure you head back to the Magician's Study. Talk to Merlin. If you happen to have everything unlocked, he should give you the Dream Rod as a reward. The penultimate staff is going to be crafted in the item synthesis system, so make sure you check out our synthesis guide if you need more info. To sum this one up, it's going to be the Fantasista. You need to make sure you have mixed 30 items, and it should appear with the last 3 weapons. It's going to be 3 Fury Stones, 3 Power Stones, 3 Mithril Stones, and 5 Energy Stones. Once you mix that, you should have that one, and that is going to leave us with one last weapon, which is going to be Donald's ultimate weapon. This is going to be the Save the Queen. You are going to have to beat the Hades Cup in solo mode. So make sure you are pretty high level for this. Obviously, it's a pretty healthy challenge, but make sure you enter the cup. Obviously, you need to beat the Hades Cup normally first before doing this. Make sure you load it up, run the gambit, and then get through all of the fights. And then if you happen to walk out the other side victorious on your own, you should be good for Donald's ultimate weapon, which is Save the Queen. And if you happen to have the rest of the staffs, you should also be good for this achievement, which is to own every single staff. So it should pop once we get back into the lobby. There it is. This achievement is going to be for 15 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.